Good evening, Nimkins. Good evening, DJ. Start the stream. Yeah, it started. It started. Patience. I had to go eat dinner. Nims, you better have your headphones on. My voice better not be annoying your fiance. Looks like we only got the two of you here right now. Actually, I don't know how many people are watching. Let's see here. That all looks good. Everything. Good evening, Invictus. Sorry to hear about your rough day. I did read your journal. Speaking sign language. I've been muted by girlfriend. It's your fiance. Get it right. All right. Let me get caught up on news here real quick. See what Trump did. Looks like not a lot. That'd be an interesting live stream, Nims. Just signing the whole stream. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Okay, so how was your guys' trading day? Aside from Invictus, I saw how Invictus's trading day went. But Nims, did you trade it all today? I know you said the weather was nice in the UK for once, or at least in Brighton. It was nice. We are at 480 on NQ. Let me take a look. Wow, that's a nice... I didn't even see this. The end of day glizzy print. Looks like it paid. Over 100 points on YM. So we might be relaxing here for a little bit. Kind of just range bound, guys. In between this 400 and 600 level. I guess it could break either way from here on NQ. So I'd like to see... Might be sitting here for a little while. It might just chop in between 500 and 480 for the next, hour or so. We'll wait till more people get into the stream. Nims, you're awfully quiet. Normally you're blowing up the chat. Did she already make you turn it off? Did the girlfriend already make you turn the stream off? Tanner, you're gonna tear up his hand signs? Guys, my allergies are through the roof. I went out and cut the grass today. Man. I have the tickle in the back of my throat now. Hence the bottle of water. Don't know why I have this gap in price on YM, but does anybody else have a gap on YM from about 3? Let's see, what is this? 323 down to 311? Looks like we might be coming back into 400. Kind of gonna wait though, because yesterday's point of control is right here at 460. If we can get a clean break below 460, I'm not opposed to trying the short down into 400, but on a Globex session, you're generally range bound for this the start of it. Okay, Invictus, you have the same gap? Trading views the same tenor? Okay. I don't know why M is like this on Globex sessions. You know, NQ and ES don't really have the same gaps. Maybe it's just the volume that gets traded on it. I don't know. RTY has a little gap here. Tenor, how was your trading day? There's DCD. Well, I fully expect a comment from Nims coming in shortly. Your cat walked across your keyboard? Uh-huh. Your cat's pretty good at typing. Some rapid fire DJP type stuff. Yeah, did you guys see DJP today? Trading minis on his small personal account. I mean, he ended up locking in massive profits, but man. Yeah, DCD. I made a little over 800 today. I did. Yeah, Savvy. DCD's already been. Well, apparently his cat walked across his keyboard. Yeah, DCD. I made like 810 on my Top Step account, and then I took a small loser on Well, I think I lost like 200 on my Take Profit Trader account. I really fumbled the YM Glizzy print this morning. I tried it like 4 times, and every time it would either wick me out break even, or I'd lock in $100, or I'd lose $200. So I walked away with a loss on that today. And after the Glizzy print, I was pretty annoyed, so that's when I shut it down for the day. It's always brutal when you take those break evens or the loser and then watch the thing run to full target. I mean, it takes everything in you to not tilt and FOMO into a position at that point, especially when it happens almost instantaneously. Oh no, tenor. Yeah. Yeah, I've learned to shut it down when I start feeling emotional about the trading. Yeah, DCD. The key is to not chase it. Like, it's so hard to do because you see all those dollars just disappearing, right? But at the same time, you have to look at it as maybe that's dollars gained, you know, because generally if you're operating in areas where you shouldn't, price will chop around a lot, and you'll end up taking a bad wick loss, like a top tick exit on a short, or vice versa, a bottom tick exit on a long position. You know, it'll just come back and grab your stop, and all of a sudden you'll lose $200. Then you'll FOMO into another trade, and you'll lose another $200. I've stopped myself from doing that a whole lot recently. I almost think it's harder to not click the button than it is to actually click the button. Oh, Nims, nice. Gifting 5 more memberships. Dang, Casper getting back to back. I know. Big baller Nims. Yeah. Nims is loyal. Nims is he is a loyal man. Nims. You had to mute me. The girlfriend had enough. Yeah, Dr. Phil, it is hard. It's tough. You know, I'm usually pretty good about it. I'm pretty good at realizing when I'm being emotional with my trading rather than technical. So I know when to walk away. Don't get me wrong, I'm as guilty of it as every other trader out there at times, where you know you have the right idea about the trade itself. You see it start working in your favor after you've already been stopped out for a break even or a small loss, and then you go chasing it. And what happens? The market chops around and just, you know, comes back and wicks you out for 3 more losses real quick, and all of a sudden you're down $1,000 before you could even blink. In fact, that pretty much sums up my first year of trading in the live markets. That pretty much sums it up. Like I've said before, guys, I know if I'm taking any more than, we'll say, 10 trades in a day, it generally means I'm over trading and probably trying to claw my way out of a hole that I shouldn't be clawing my way out of on that day. kind of wish the market would get away from this 500 level on NQ. It's kind of dead smack in the middle. 10 trades a day is your average DCD. Yeah, but I think you're starting to turn that corner, DCD. Like, trading ES will get you away from that as well. Like, it's just, there's really only 2 or 3 good opportunities a day. Let's put it that way. There's generally not, and some days there's no good opportunities. You know, when we're in a tight range, it's not really a good opportunity because you're constantly playing either the breakout, or the minute you start playing the range, the breakout happens and you get ran over. My best days are when I have one trade and I'm done. Yeah, tenor. Yeah, it's just too much exposure to them. The less exposure you have to the market, as a day trader, the better. If you can lock up, you know, $1,000 trade or whatever your profit target is for the day, if you can lock up a good sized trade on your first trade and be done for the day, that's a great day. It's a great day. Any day that we don't finish red is a great day. When I first started trading, I can't tell you how many days I had $2,000 profit, right? And I was like, I can make 3,000 because it was going great. And then next thing you know, I take a $300 loser, and then I'm like, well, I got to get back to that $2,000 mark. Another $300 loser. Well, now I'm down 600 from there. I got to get back to that $2,000 mark. And then you'll get into a trade that'll go, you know, 20 points in your favor, 400 bucks up. And then will reverse on you, and you hang in there. And then it'll start approaching your stop, and you're like, well, it'll go back up, or it'll go back down. And you pull that stop a little bit further, and all of a sudden it's a $600 loss. And what do you know? All your profits start to slowly slip away. And then eventually you hit that point where you're like, well, screw it. Screw it. I'll just get into another trade and try to make it all back here. Nope. Inevitably, it's another loss and another massive loss. That is exactly what you do, DCD. Yeah, you got to learn to just once you go green, don't ever go red. You know, if you feel the need to trade and get into another trade, you set your stop loss to the point where no matter what happens on that next trade, you are green. And if it's a loser, you walk away. You live to fight another day. I know it's easier said than done, but it's part of the self-discipline that we have to have as traders. All or nothing, DCD. I mean, there'll be a day. I have a friend recently that, you know, had a 7-figure account, and he was heavy in leverage. Let's put it that way. In a trade, and in fact, it was on the 12% up day on the NAS. He shorted it at 8% with everything he had on a 7-figure account, and nearly got liquidated. And then the very next day, risked it all again and made it all back plus 55%, and I haven't seen him since. But I can't personally condone that kind of trading. You know, granted, he made enough to retire, but it could have just as easily gone the other way and been a complete life-changing, life-turning moment, a disaster. Love will be spread around a lot the next few days. Well, we are chopping. Yeah, Robert. That's smart. That's being smart. Hey, Khaled, what's up? Um, Using a trailing stop is smart. DCD. Yeah, travel safe, brother. Get home safe. Yeah, Nims, I don't understand how the gifted subs works. Is it a gifted sub or a gifted membership? Because it looks like you're gifting memberships, not subs. Does it just go to random people? Yeah, Robert. Apex, like... What's up, Mason? Like, some of their rules are good, right? I don't agree with the intraday trailing drawdown rule that they have at all. Like, I think that's designed for failure, right? But some of the rules that they have are good. Good discipline features. Sub is just Twitch terms. Mason's back from Spain, guys, finally, after a long weekend. Mason, you be sure that Cade gets that bottle of water. Yeah, Khaled, I don't know that I know anybody that's on a live account with Apex. I've never heard anybody say that they have a live account with Apex. I don't trade with Apex, so I'm not sure. Like, every now and then I'll still pop into one of Trades by Match streams and say hello, but I haven't really been keeping up on that side of things at all. Oh, Robert, you know someone who turned down trading live? Actually, now that you mentioned that, I do know somebody who turned it down as well. I turned down trading live with one of the props. I'm not going to mention who, but I turned one down. I only need one live prop account. I don't think I need to build up a bunch of live prop accounts. So you know, just trade my personal at that point. And really, I just keep my live accounts for streaming purposes, so I'm not trading my personal and doing something stupid with my personal account on a live stream. Because I have been known to do dumb things on the live stream. I mean, their $2 million payout trader put out a video about his payout and stuff like that. And I think in there he says, he's like, look, I got paid. I don't know if it's because I have a major social media following or whatever, but I think it's kind of telling that the people who are getting those big payouts, right, are all quote unquote influencers. or have, you know, trading mentorships or things of that nature. Um, yeah, I don't know. Nor do I really care, to be honest with you. I'm more worried about my dollars than anybody else's dollars. Don't get me wrong, I hope everybody makes money in the markets, but that's just not the reality of the situation. There's two people on the end of every trade. There's a winner and a loser. So, clearly somebody's losing if I'm winning. Yeah, guys, if you could, smash that thumbs up button. Thank you, Nims. Oh, that's true. I guess you're right, Robert. I guess you're right. Oh, what I'm saying is there's somebody on the other end of that execution. Somebody's getting paired up with your trade on the opposite side. So, yeah, in some instances it could be profit taking, you know. But there's another order on the other end of your trade. Okay. Not quite sure what that little spike through 500 there was. And that was your... Were you long there, Robert? If so, not well done. I'm contemplating a short position here, but it's a little too jumpy right now. You entered on the retest of VWAP? Yeah, Robert, I don't even have VWAP on my charts anymore. Only 900. 900 is good profit. What are you talking about? Only 900. That's more than I made today. That's a great trade for an overnight session. Any technical indicators? So like moving averages and stuff like that, Sin. The only like technical indicator that I use is one that a friend of mine has built. So what you see on these charts is an indicator by Banana Bread Trades, and he's got Keltner channels. This is the 200 period moving average, and then he's got his expected range here. Are the red and green lines for the session. And then down here is his oscillator, let's say. His overbought, oversold. But it's based on harmonic rotations. That's really the only like technical indicators that I use. Other than that, I'm just drawing support and resistance levels and executing based on order flow. And the price action that I see around there. So on my charts, these gray boxes are the areas that I determine that I want to be executing, really. And, you know, say we get a wick above and a reclaim below and a rejection up here at 600 to 620. I would look for a short back down into 400. Vice versa. To the top side. But yeah, no, I don't really use a whole lot of technical indicators. This is my first, like when I first started trading. I know I've explained this a million times, but I threw every indicator on my charts that I possibly could, and I never just really found any consistency or sustained success with them. So I steer clear of those things. The only way that I was able to get profitable was to eliminate all that stuff and just trade simple price action, support and resistance levels. I don't like having too much on my charts. MB, what is RTY? That's the Russell Index. So it's small cap stocks. It's a US index of small cap stocks. So what you're seeing on the screen, top left is going to be the NASDAQ futures in Q. Top right is going to be ES, the S&P 500 futures. Bottom left is going to be YM, the Dow Jones futures. And bottom right is going to be the RTY or Russell Index futures. I mainly trade the NASDAQ. However, with the volatility that we've been seeing lately, it's made it a little difficult to trade the NAS. Overnight sessions is where I've been more profitable trading the NASDAQ, because you get a little bit more movement than you do on these other indexes during Globex streams or during the Globex session all in all. But during the day side, I'm typically trading the YM, the Dow Jones. It moves a little more smooth, a little more fluid. You don't get those nasty 40-point wicks out of nowhere. The Russell's kind of tricky. I'm still kind of learning it. I haven't really traded it a whole lot. I'm definitely better at identifying price action and stuff on these three than I am this one. But the indicator that I use for all these is the Glizzy Clipper 5000 indicator. If you're interested in learning more a little bit about what it is, there is a link in the description that you can click on, and it will take you to well, actually that's the purchasing link for the indicator itself, but you can go to Banana Bread Trade's YouTube channel, and he's got a full video about everything that goes into his indicator. But it's a really good indicator, as you can see. I mean, these are the prints. These print in real time. The YM one this morning was kind of iffy, but if you were to just wait for the ES print, this one was pure gold. I mean, it caught the high of day. So, I mean, what is that move? It's from 575 down to 492. I mean, sure. I'll take 85 points on the ES all day. Yeah, you kind of want to stay away from news prints with this indicator because it doesn't take into account volatility or stuff like that. You kind of want smooth movement with it because it's a mean reversion play, is what it is. So I'll I'll zoom out on the YM chart just to show you, because this one kind of gave some messy signals this morning. In fact, I took a small loss on these prints because you don't know really what's happening. But let me zoom in a little bit and show you what we got going on. Okay, so when you're looking at my charts here, he's got the Keltner channel. So this gray lines right here are the outer bands of the Keltner channel. The blue line is the Keltner mid, which is a 200 period moving average. And then he's got the red. These two red lines that you see on the screen are the outer edges of his expected range for the session. And the two green lines is the buy zone. So this is a buy zone, this is a sell zone. What you want to see is price be above the Keltner upper in this case, right? And be in between these two red lines somewhere. But then you also need his momentum indicator to be overbought on the harmonics rotation for an entry as well. And then you'll get these red arrows here. Now, generally what I do is I wait until price gets to one of my levels that I have determined as support or resistance, or I wait till one of the other indexes starts printing in order to get in. I think I got in on this red candle here and got chopped up a bit as it got higher today. And then as soon as I gave up on it, it sold off, of course. Typical. So I kind of fumbled this one today. But if you look at the ES print from today, let me get to the ES chart. This is pretty clean. Like, this is kind of what you want to see. You don't want to see 20 prints. I mean, right here you have 4 prints. So at most, when this one printed, you're taking 76. Where's the top wick here? To 79. You're taking 3 points of heat on ES. So $150. My stops are generally $250 to $300 when I'm executing. For his strategy says just target the Kelt mid. So we'll say, even if you took this first candle, right? 76 down to, what is this? 50, so that's 26 points. But it's very, very good. Very good indicator. But that is the only indicator that I use. I know everyone else likes VWAP and they found success with some of the other indicators. I just haven't. The only other indicators that I have on my chart are on my daily chart, where I have, you know, a 100 period, a 200 period, a 50 period, and a 20 period simple moving average. That's the only other indicators that I use in my trading. So right now, I'd fully expect a test of the daily 20 SMA up here at some point in the very near future, which is up at 773 right now, or 733 right now. Sin, yeah, I'm a full-time futures trader. I trade every day. Well, let me rephrase that. When an opportunity presents, I trade every day. There are days where I don't have any trades, where nothing sets up. But yes, for the most part, I trade every day. To you new guys here, we do have a free Discord as well if you guys are interested in joining that. There's a link in the description of the video. It's called Level Up. It's entirely free. There's lots of good traders in there. Feel free to join up. There is also a lot of noise and trolling in that Discord as well. Alright, so we're getting the move up here. Let's see what happens when if we can break out of this area and get up here towards this 550, this high volume. I'm not opposed to, if we can get a clean break above 520 and a retest and a hold above 520, I'm not opposed to trying a long back up into 600. There is a block at 550 up here. Let's see what size it is. It's just a 60, a 58 block up here. Just shy of 550. That's probably the magnet right now. There's not a whole lot of interest below that. The biggest block to the downside is all the way down at 280 on NQ. Sin, yeah, you're more than on here. You wanna tell me what your trade was? Yeah, if you made a trade, go ahead. Yeah, you can say what you trade. Of course. Yeah, MB, I definitely look at it. I definitely look at volume profile. This is prior days volume profile right here. And this is today's. This will reset on Quant Tower, I believe, at 8 o'clock. So this one will get really small. And then this one will expand. 8 o'clock my time. So in about 40 minutes. Yeah, Sin, it's I find great value in volume profile. Great value. I mean, naked point of controls are definitely magnets for the market. You know, untested point of controls. Especially on the higher time frame volume profiles, like your weekly or your monthly. Those untested point of controls act like magnets for the market. So yeah, they're very valuable. They definitely drop clues as to where the market's heading. Khaled, are you still around? Khaled, how'd you trade today? I really didn't talk to you at all today. If an individual has $10,000 cash to trade futures, Yeah, if you have $10,000 that you're willing to lose, like if you're just starting out, I think props are probably the way to go. Um, Providing you're not gambling and you're taking it serious, I think props are definitely the way to go because $10,000 can go really quick if you're just trading minis and you don't know what you're doing. So why spend the $10,000 while you're learning, whereas you can spend the $100, you know, and have $2,000 leverage if you're doing like a 50K prop firm account. So props have their space. The problem is they know they're dealing with beginning traders, so they implement a bunch of really tight rules in place that are really limiting, that really don't benefit the trader at all, even though they say they do, or they have their best interests in mind. But when you're in the learning phase, I think you definitely should try out props first, for sure. I think you start on paper, and then you start trading props so you have a little bit of the emotional side of dealing with like real cash, like there's something on the line, and then you move into a personal account. That should be the natural progression. But yes, you're right. If you have $10,000 that you're willing to lose, by all means, trade a personal account. Open up an account with a broker and try it out for sure. Why are you going to give a prop firm a percentage of your profits? So on that front, I agree with you, MB. But prop firms can be a valuable tool as well. And if you're a really good trader, they allow you to max leverage as well. You know, these guys that are trading 20 accounts, copy trading 20 accounts, they wouldn't have that kind of leverage generally in their own personal account. All right, we are back under 500. I guess all you chart pattern traders looking like a cup and handle right now. Yeah, MB, of course. Cheers. I think it's just if you're just starting to learn how to trade futures and you don't understand how quickly, you know, if you're trading mini contracts versus micro contracts, how quickly that 10,000 can go. It's better to lose the $100 than to lose the full 10,000. Let's put it that way. No, DCD, we're nowhere near any glizzy prints right now. We got a ways to go to get into either on all the indexes, really. We would need price above 584 or below 383. I don't know that we're going to get a glizzy print on the night session. I'm kind of just chilling right now. It looks like YM's the closest to getting a print if we get a downside move here. But things could start to pick up here in about a half an hour. I just don't like operating around this 500 level on NQ though either. I mean, that's a lot of chop. That is a lot of chop. I mean, higher time frame wise, I'm not quite sure why this is a different color here, but let's go ahead and change that. All right, looks like we got that push back above 500. We do have that block still up at 550. That's feeling like the magnet right now. See if it wants to get me in on this long. All right, I'm long, guys. I know I just said, but I felt like taking a trade, so we'll risk a little something on this. See if we can get this push up through these wicks here, and then we might have a run. Go ahead and lock something in just in case it feels like being crazy NQ things. All right. Probably could have hung in there. But I'll take my $100 win and be happy with it. Yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, feel free to hit that subscribe button if you want to follow along with some of my trading. We've actually seen some pretty good growth in the channel recently, to tell you the truth. Plus, it really helps the channel out. If I use a price chart, how do I manage a day with high volatility? High volatility, it's still the same. So what you'll notice in high volatility market conditions, Sin, is the levels, like price will still move to specific key levels. Volatility aside, it'll just move a lot faster and more violent the majority of the time. So generally in high volatility, I'll size way down. I will trade more like 3 micros rather than trading minis. But you'll notice that price generally still moves to these levels of support and resistance, or supply and demand, or whatever you want to call them. It's all the same thing, all the same theory. But you'll generally see that price wants to test those areas quite a bit, regardless of volatility. You know, institutional money has targets in mind. They're going to do everything they can to force price there, regardless of what's going on in the headlines or regardless of the volatility. So it's really key in my eyes to know where those key levels are. And you can kind of tell if there's a lot of action or a lot of wick action at a price. Generally, you know that's an important level, and your risk is pretty tight on any execution. Like, we held here as support. We tested it once, tested it twice, tested it 3 times, held above, and then we got the move back up to this level, right? And then same thing. This level rejected, and we got the move back down. And granted, this is volatile here, but you can see that even as we got into this level, there was still an attempt at buyers to hold that level as support. So executing at these areas is imperative. regardless of whether it's volatile or not. Same thing here on the downside. In fact, let's see what we got here. I almost think we might be able to move this level up at this point to 240 to 260 maybe. But it's looking like buyers are in control right now. So it's a buy the dip situation until we see a flush below this level. So below 220, then I would be interested in shorts, but really I'm looking for buy the dips right now overall. And then on these charts, the only other oh yeah, you were asking about indicators earlier. The only other technical indicator that I have on my charts are pivots. So the gray line here is central pivot. This is resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3, and then support 1, support 2, support 3. But yes, and the only way to deal with high volatility scenarios is to size down, size way down. The volatility will die down eventually. Like, you just have to weather the storm, kind of. Or just don't trade if you find yourself uncomfortable. Like, if you're scared to enter a position, it's probably a good idea to not trade. Chat's kind of quiet tonight. It's kind of a sleepy Monday, huh? Got a big news week ahead, so a lot of traders are probably not trading this evening. Got a lot of earnings coming out. We got GDP, US GDP. We got consumer confidence. We've got NFP on Friday. You will talk, Sin? Yeah. Yeah, just keep me entertained. DCD, yeah. Have you been noticing the spoofing that's been going on with those 400 blocks, though? Like, it's like they're throwing up those 400 blocks on, you know, equidistant from current price, and just as price gets close to one of them, they pull it. It happened last night, actually, during the Globex stream that I did yesterday. It's like they pulled it 50 points down from where it was, and it never got tagged. It never got tagged. At least when I saw. It might have gotten tagged when I was sleeping, but... But I'm fine with the $100 that I made tonight, too. Yeah, it's been strange, though, because it'll... Like, overnight sessions, I notice those big blocks. A lot of times they get close to them, right? And then price completely reverses away from them. It's like the... It's almost like the market makers know, yeah, he's just going to pull that order, so let's fake it out. There's got to be a way that they can prove that kind of stuff, you know, because it happens all the time. DCD, you remember those couple weeks when it was just 1,000 lots all over the place on the Nas? Do you remember that? I mean, that was the wildest trading I've ever seen. The wildest trading I've ever seen. I was scared to trade. And it's not often that that happens to me. But I was scared to trade. That is when you feel most alive, Sin. Yeah, I mean, there's some people out there that are just built that way. You know, I don't like it at all. Sin, my trading is really boring. Like it is extremely boring. I'm probably as consistent as the DCD can speak to this. I'm probably as consistent as they come with my P&L. You know, I consistently have $1,000 profit. that's the way that it goes for me. I have red days too, but for the most part, I average about $1,000 a day, and I'm happy with it. You know, I have friends that shoot for those $1 million days, but I'm just not built like that. I don't like it. I don't like the feeling of it. Shoot, I have a hard time swallowing $1,000 loss day. Yeah, I get you're right. Trading should be pretty boring. But my trading is definitely. I mean, it's boring. Let's put it that way. On the live streams and stuff like that, I take a little more risk, right? Because I want to execute. I don't want it to be boring on a live stream for sure. Which is why I trade props on the live stream. You know, I'm not overly concerned about these accounts. To the point, I mean, it's you still want to win. You know, you want to prove that you're a good trader, but yes, and exactly, it is a business. You got to treat it like a business though too. You know, you can't over leverage. If something's not working, you got to change and adapt. You got to have your risk in check. You know, opportunity cost in check. Yeah, Savvy, and that's fine. You know, the slow grind is how you get better. And then as your account grows, you size up. You don't change your trading per se. It's just the amount of size that you have on the trades. When you find something that works a high percentage of the time, you stick to it. And as the account grows, you scale up. Yeah, your trading business mostly consists of tax write-offs for all your losses. Yeah, that is. I mean, living in America for sure. You can write off a lot of things if you have an LLC set up for your trading, for sure. You can write off a portion of your electric bill. You can write off all your PC, monitor, desk accessories. You know, a lot of stuff you can write off. You don't even need one? You can do it on your personal? I don't know. I funnel everything through an LLC, and then I pay myself an annual salary is what I do. As the only employee of my LLC. Oh, that's true. I guess if you're only trading props. Yeah, okay, DCD, you're right. If you're only trading props, I get because you get a 1099 technically at the end of every year, at the beginning of every year for tax purposes. I guess you're right. You probably could do it that way. But when you have a personal account and that's all tied into your trading profits and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure you would need to have an LLC in order to do tax write-offs. I mean, I'm not any tax expert, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Yeah, DCD. I talked to a DBA works as well. Yeah. I don't know. The easiest way I could think of when I started my own was just set up an LLC and then pay myself as a salaried employee once a year. I don't know how it all works. I just hand all my paperwork to an accountant and they do everything for me. I should probably learn the ins and outs at some point rather than paying an accountant. Although I guess now if it's, say, the YouTube channel ever gets off the ground, that'll be another business that I'll have to tie into it. Yeah, I should probably learn a few things. If you got an accountant right now, you'd be baffled by your expenses, TCD. I mean, do you spend your money stupidly just on stupid nonsense? I mean, I know you used to hit the slots pretty frequently. I remember those talks. I'm pretty sure you pay at least one Top Step employee's salary every month. Don't you have friends that work at Top Step? Degen in your name. That's true. What is DCD stand? Is it Double Cup Degenerate? Is that what it is? I think I remember. It's Double Cup Degenerate. Yeah. Well, we're kind of just slowly grinding up, aren't we? See what happens here in about 15 minutes. If we don't get any action or anything, I'll probably kill the stream for the evening. But usually at 8 o'clock, 8 to 8:30, sometimes the market picks up a little bit. Generally, if you don't see some sort of movement after that, during that time span, the market's going to be dead until late. London session late. At which point I will not be awake. Yeah, DCD, I would agree with that. I mean, you've got you got resistance. You got R1 on the pivots up here at 683. Running prior day high. Yeah, I would agree with that. Let's see. What do we got on the DOM? I mean, like I said, the biggest block is up there at 550, but it's not even really a whole lot of size. You know? There's really not a lot on the books. I'd imagine traders are kind of just taking these first couple days to take everything in. Wednesday's going to be the big mover, I think. Wednesday the market's going to move around quite a bit. We do have, what do we have on Wednesday earnings wise at the bell? Tomorrow before the open, we got Pfizer, Coca-Cola, PayPal. You got Jolts and consumer confidence. You got Trump speaking again tomorrow evening, actually. So maybe I'll do a Globex stream again tomorrow. Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday you got GDP. You got ADP employment change. You got PCE price index, consumer spending. And then you got, at the bell, you've got Microsoft and Meta earnings, eBay. Yeah, so Wednesday to Friday. So, Thursday, you got Amazon and Apple. So, yeah. Then you probably don't have a lot of action happening until Wednesday is what I'm guessing. Yeah, I know. It's crazy news week, DCD. Crazy news week. We'll definitely need to be on our toes. For sure. Yeah, DCD. It's gonna take, so that pullback into 17K and the reclaim. I know we tested like mid 16Ks on the NAS, but if you look at an ES chart, a higher time frame ES chart. In fact, let me pull one up here. Let's see here. Let's change connection. Let's go continuous contract on ES. Okay. Let's make this bigger so we can see it. So you can see why I say what I said. Go to the daily. Take it back. We'll take it back 5 years. Okay, so the massive pullback that we saw pulled back to these highs right here from 2022, right? The beginning of 2022, before you saw the massive leg down, you know how we had that sell-off from all of 2022. It pretty much pulled back right to those highs and held strong. So we're basically gearing up for the next leg up, is what I'm seeing, right? Like almost to the tick here on that pullback on the S&P 500. So yeah, it's going to be really hard for me to buy into any shorts now that we've held that level. Granted, there will be downside plays in there, but I think we did bottom as well. I'm right there with you. Yeah, I mean, we held those 2022 highs. So there's no reason for me to think that the bottom isn't in right now. You know, when we were falling off a cliff there for those few weeks and everybody was doom and gloom, I was sitting there thinking to myself, these guys, the market's going to recover. It's going to go back up. Like, you just have to wait for the bottoming action. And it was, what, 17K on the NAS? You know, was that same price point. So we held that area. We're trading back above it. Are we going to see a massive bull run this year? No, probably not. With everything that's going on with Trump and the tariffs and all that stuff. But I don't think we're going to fall much further than what we have. It's going to take World War III in order for something like that to happen. You know, it's going to take U.S. involvement in a major war in order for that to happen. In my opinion. And that's just my opinion. You know, take it for what it is. Where's Albu? yeah, Savvy. No, I mean, the perma bears, they call for it. They you know, they want the full-on collapse for sure. Problem is there's breakers in place to stop that from happening, which in a way is market manipulation, I suppose, because there's no breaker in place to the upside during regular trading hours, right? It can go up. We saw it, 12% up day, you know. So you can buy the market up as much as you want, but you can't sell the market as much as you want. So in a way, yes, the market is manipulated for sure. Yeah, 12. Yeah, Mason, 12% up day. Mason, you're still awake? Man. You're a trooper. Get back from Spain. All that drinking over the weekend, and then you're staying up late? Oh, you just woke up again? Okay. All right. But yeah, no, DCD, I'm with you. I think the bottom is in. I think it's in. There's enough really good traders that I know that also think the same. And honestly, if we do fall below that previous low, It's just another buying opportunity for me on my long term. So bring it, I guess. You know, let the market plunge. I will load up. I will sell my house and everything I've got to load up. My goodness, we are not moving at all right now. Unless my charts are frozen. Oh no, they're not frozen. We're just not moving. Trading futures from Walmart stream. Palantir, Sin? Oh man. Anything crypto related. I mean, the people who have known me in a while, they know that me personally, anything crypto related, I mean, you want to talk about the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. The crypto is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. And, you know, the value of it is just whatever people think it's worth. It really has no value. I would be all right if crypto just completely fell apart. I would be okay if it plunged to zero and to watch all the crypto people just crying foul. But the problem is now governments are invested in it. So I don't know that that's ever going to happen. I don't know that they'll allow it to happen. I mean, you got guys like Trump invested in it, right? So, like, I don't know what the future holds with crypto, but it definitely is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. And not only that, it will never be a centralized form of money. It will never be centralized, because that will be, the moment they try to do that, that will be World War III for sure. Because how do you determine whose currencies align with the value of crypto? Yeah, Savvy, that's true. Yeah, it's tradable on the futures market. It's for sure, but it is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time. It's just it will never. No one will go to jail for it. Yeah, DCD, that's true. Too many big players in the game now. Yeah, Mason, you're right. Yeah, you know, what happens to the euro? What happens to the British pound? What happens to the Japanese yen? You know, like, what happens? You know, there's just no. That will be World War III for sure, if they ever tried to centralize that. You know, I realize everything is compared to the U.S. dollar. Right now, currencies are all focused, you know, valued around the U.S. dollar, but that just means that the U.S. dollar is the centralized form of currency, right? Like, not Bitcoin, not crypto. Man, I should have held my long there from 505, huh? Could have had a decent evening. I never really would have taken any heat on that position either. Oh, yes, I would have. I think I would have been out on this pullback. Yes, and I think that will all work itself out, though. Like, China will eventually have to come to the negotiating table. The one problem that I see with China is, like, they don't care about their citizens. So they will send their economy into the toilet and make their citizens suffer in order to prove a point. That's the only fear that I have with all of this. But eventually they'll have to they'll have to come to the negotiating table. I mean, we're their biggest buyer, so they're gonna have to. What position am I in ES? I'm not in any trade right now, Sin. Let's see, where are we at? 55, 54. If I was long right now, you know, it looks like we held the 200 period moving average. If I was long right now from, you know, 55.40, that would be the level that I would choose to be long from. My target would be, let's see, what would my target be? Probably 55.80, a run of previous day high. That'd probably be where I'd be targeting. All right, guys, we got a couple minutes here. Give me a second. Amazon package at the door. Not today. Oh, you talking about ES to 55.80? You're thinking it's downside? Yeah, I don't know that we get there either today or tomorrow. I'm pretty sure we stay in this range on NQ. I'd imagine we probably do much the same on ES into Wednesday. I mean, there's not enough volume right now to push anything. If we can get the NQ up to that 55.50 area and draw those blocks and start to see some sellers step in, I'm not opposed to a short. I'm not opposed to a short at all. Maybe target back down into prior day's point of control at 460-ish. You know, play the range. That looks like a pretty strong rejection candle. Let's see if we can hold below this wick here. Back below 520, and I wouldn't hate the short. I kind of wanted it to sweep a little bit higher first, though. On NQ. Let's see what we're looking at. We got the Kelt upper up here at like 550-ish, so that would line up. All right, we're below 520. All right, let's try it. Let's see if we can get a flush out here. Keep my wrist kind of tight. Make my charts bigger so you guys can see it a little bit better. There's just no volume. No follow through on any move. If we get down here to like 506, I'll put in a break-even stop. Otherwise, I'll just take this stop out here. It's feeling very slow, grindy, topside kind of price action right now. Normally, you'd like to see a quicker flush than what you're seeing. If you're going to see some downside. At least on NQ. Sin, no, I generally take breaks. I find that my decision making gets a little cloudy if I'm trading all day. All right, I'm up. Well, I was up $70 on the position. Kind of wish it would have flushed a little bit more. There we go. All right, we got the 10. I'm going to go ahead and put in a break even. Not going to let this trade go negative on me at this point. I'm up $120 on the position right now. And I guess now we just sit back and relax. You know, at worst, I get stopped out break even. At best, I make, what is that, almost, so $500, a little over $500. If it does get aggressive below 500, I'm not opposed to pulling my stop down to central pivot down there at 470. You think the price chart would not be sufficient without volume profile? I don't know. You can do a lot with naked charts. You can definitely see where... Like, don't get me wrong. Volume is very important. Like, if you don't have depth of market or something like that, if you can't see where buyers and sellers are trying to execute or do business, you definitely are trading blind. But you can definitely still trade with just a chart. You can easily see on higher time frame charts where the majority of buyers and sellers are doing their transactions, are conducting business, in my opinion. Man, price is just not moving for us. I mean, we're up on this position and we're comfortable, right? But I very easily could get wicked out of this position as well if we don't get a quick flush here through 500. Sin, do you trade off the DOM? Like, there's a guy in my Discord, Chris. He strictly trades ES and he strictly trades using the DOM. He doesn't really use charts at all. He really just reads the DOM. And he's really, really good. Really good. Really good trader. You're buying ES? Let's see here. I mean, Chris bought ES at 55.52, it looks like. Is where he's long ES. Alright, if we form a new high, I'm out. I don't want to see this candle print green at all. I don't like that we didn't sweep these wicks as well. So I'll take my $60 and run. Yeah, Chris, I mean, Chris is one of the better traders I've seen. Yeah, he's unbelievable. He is unbelievable. There we go. There's the push down. I don't know what his last name is, Sin. I just know him as Chris. Oh, there's the random wick to take me out. Alright, so that puts me up. What does that put me up? $150 on the session. Not much, but I will take it for. Let's see, when did I come on live? So an hour and a half of trading. Oh, you. There's the NQ getting me again. Savvy, did you see it? Oh, I gotta love the NAS. Gotta love it. Yeah, you guys saw it. I know. That's what happens to me when I trade the NAS. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It is what it is. I mean, I'm tight trailing anyway. Because of that very instance right there. Low volume, price is going to jump around like that. to fill orders. So I kind of expected it, which is why I went break even. But yeah, that was bad. Watch this fall right to my take profit too. Sin, if you're still long ES, I would watch that 55-45 area right now. If it holds, I think you're okay on your long. If it fails that area, I would definitely consider getting out of the trade. Yes, and if you like trading ES, you're more if you want to, there's a link for the Level Up Discord in the description of this video. It's entirely free. If you want to see a really good ES trader, he doesn't give a lot of his secrets. I will say that he's kind of and there's 500 on NQ, of course. The one little wick up there got me. Look at that. Unbelievable. But he's a really good ES trader. He's really good to find out where he sees levels and stuff like that. But feel free to join up with our Discord. There's a lot of guys in there that do trade ES. Almost exclusively. So if you want a cool place to hang out and talk trading, Level Up Discord is a good place. Small too. We aren't selling you anything. There's no mentorship program or anything like that. I'm no guru. So feel free to join up. So that goes for everybody watching as well. Well, guys, after I got wicked out of that position, I'm probably going to call it. I'm not going to operate around 500 again. Just retired. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't see any... I don't want to operate around 500. That's a lot of chop there on NQ for me. And obviously the ES is going to move probably in tandem with NQ right now. This is messy. The only reason why I took the short there was because we got back below 520 and we're holding below. I was just targeting pretty much the bottom of this little range here. So after that, I'm probably done for the evening. Come back tomorrow with a fresh mindset and attack these things and try to make my $1,000 again. So yeah. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Trade safe. It's probably going to be pretty choppy, really slow. Wednesday, things will pick up in the market. I'll probably do a Globex stream tomorrow evening as well. So if you want to join me and hang out for a little bit, feel free. Anyways, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.